Wait, what the Hey everyone. I got caught here. I think I clicked in the wrong box. Maybe not. All right, so we're fine. I am gonna. Oh no, I did jump in the wrong tournament. I jumped in a dog bowl instead of a battle royale. I swear I meant to jump in a battle royale. Anyway, oh yeah, not the draft I wanted to be in, but we're here. Um, I wanted to I was trying to jump in one last battle royale before it closed up, but I clicked the wrong button, and here we are in a dog bowl. But I'll be going over your start sit decisions, lineup choices, all that good stuff momentarily. Just gonna go through now. This I haven't done any dog bowls this year. Uh, really, maybe ever. Um, Where's the clock? Oh, there it goes. All right. You know what? I'm actually gonna pop out the draft board and I'll let you see that instead. Let's bring that over. Come on. What is going on here? Technical difficulties this morning, left and right. Yeah, you're seeing the board. All right. I'm gonna go with CMC. Um, Probably shouldn't have from the 3 hole, but I've been betting on him most of the offseason and certainly for week one. So screw it. I'm going nuts. All in on CMC. Get that down. All right. There I go. If you would like me to answer your start sit questions, if you have them this week, a lot of people do not have any start sit questions this week. So that's why I'm going to fill it in with some drafts, maybe a DFS lineup or two. Um, I don't do that much DFS. I listen to a lot of the DFS streams when I create my rankings. Rankings are updated and should be published and refreshed on wheelrouteff.com. Just want to make sure, yeah. Weekly fantasy rankings are up. You got to scroll down a little bit, and they're position by position. The intention with just doing them position by position is that you ask me a question when it comes to your flex. Woo. I am. I just looked at the my rankings compared to the expert consensus, and you can see that if you visit the website. Apparently, everybody else, so the consensus has CMC ranked as the number 5 or 6 running back overall, and I got him number 1. He's playing all right, and the reports of him not being healthy, I'm choosing not to believe them. I'm choosing to ignore them. Um, I think they put the Q tag on him in order to scare some people into thinking that they may not utilize him to a great degree or to a lesser degree. But I don't think they're going to really back off of him at all. Shanahan doesn't play that way. He tends to go full board no matter what, even though it's week one. And sorry, even though it's week one, and the result doesn't really matter. I just emailed myself some pictures. Oh man, technology is really not my friend today at all. Pretty crazy. I'm I emailed myself some of the draft boards for Battle Royale that I've already done, um, just so I could show you them to you, and doesn't look like that email went through. How does an email not go through in 2025, right? Like just absolutely insane. So I'm gonna try it again. I do have a couple of starts of questions in my Discord. I will always answer my Discord questions first. And I guess I need to promote this on the socials as well, coming up on my pick. So we see all the tight ends are gone. Jaden Daniels gone. I'm tempted to grab Burrow just because he fairly easily could be the QB1 overall. And as we see here, or you guys can't see it, in the draft queue, it's all running backs available. I'll probably end up with a naked Burrow if I do it, but I'm going to do it. Hoping for T. Higgins on the way back, but he's literally the next wide receiver in ADP. The team in the one, the T. Higgins goes right after me, so he's naked. Team in the one hole is probably cursing me out right about now. Don't know how I'm going to stack Burrow. This was probably a bad choice. Actually, I might be able to go Gesicki in like the last round just for that stack. That's probably what I'll end up doing. I'm wondering though too. I'm wondering why running backs did. I guess there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 running backs in the first round, so I guess they did fly off the board. There is one other running back that I really, really think is going to have a great day, and that's Alvin Kamara. I will be done at quarterback and running back. All I need to do now is wide receiver and tight end. As I said, I'm probably going to tee up Gesicki. I guess wide receiver does kind of fall off a little bit. There's some wide receivers late that I can grab. Yeah, that should have decent days. So I'm running back heavy to start. Kind of probably reached for Burrow, and especially an unstacked Burrow. But of all the quarterbacks on this Sunday slate, actually, I just take it. Oops. I'm just going to take a look at them. I could have waited for Bo Nix. Bo Nix should have a great day. Probably Baker Mayfield stack. I would have grabbed Higgins with that pick had I not gone Burrow, which means I would have had an unstacked Higgins, which is fine. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of quarterbacks that could have some pretty good weeks. Not the smartest move, but y'all can learn from my mistakes. What is this again? What is this? This tournament, the Dog Bowl. I wouldn't really. I have never done this, and I probably would never do this because of the payout structure is basically negative EV, negative expected value. I mean, unless you come in top 5 in most of these tournaments, it's negative EV. But even winning this is a free trip to their Dog Bowl in Kansas City. And I know there's cash prizes, but I'm even with an invite, I don't think I'm going. I'm not into the fantasy football social scene. I think that's I just whatever. I guess it's good for networking or whatever, but the general personalities of people that do this full time for a living, I wouldn't hang out with them in my normal everyday socializing life. Most of them. There's a few of them I wouldn't mind meeting, but I'm not so much a party guy anymore. I bartended for 14 years, so the party life has been well drained from my core activities. All right, so I haven't been going over this pick by pick. I don't think it's all that important either. I'm going to hit wide receiver. Wide receiver seems fairly depleted at this point, with most people having two, one having three. Yeah, it's basically an average of two per person. I do like Jaylen Warren a lot. Let's see. Cincinnati's playing Cleveland. Njoku's gone. I'm just going to grab Marvin Harrison, hope for a couple touchdowns from him. Kind of a bring back to Kamara. San Francisco is playing Seattle. Not really. I'm not doing Purcell. I really like Tyler Warren, but I was going to use that as I was going to use tight end. If Tyler Warren comes back, I'll take him. But I was going to use that as a Gesicki stack with Burrow. It's not likely that anybody is rostering Gesicki. Tight ends are massively unpredictable. So good. There goes Tyler Warren. Jalen Waddle went right after my Marvin Harrison pick. And I think Jalen Waddle is fantastic for fantasy for you this week. But I don't think he presents the massive upside that could happen from, say, the guy I am actually going to queue up next. DK Metcalf is next in ADP. But the Jets defense is fairly solid. Not so sure he's going to have a great connection with Aaron Rodgers right off the bat. Aaron Rodgers always starts out slow. So I'll avoid that. And I'm going to go with the wild card of Travis Hunter. I believe Travis Hunter will probably play about 70% of snaps and be heavily targeted in those snaps. I don't think they're going to have him on the field for any other reason but to catch the ball. I don't think they're going to have him doing much blocking at all. He's going to be running most of the routes. And they said they'll work him in on defense. He might play like in nickel packages or something like that. But his primary use is going to be as a receiver. And they're not going to put him in harm's way. They're not going to really risk injury to their number 2 overall pick that they hope will eventually be going both ways on the football field. All right, so I'll wait until that wraps around. I've said out loud the tight end I'm eyeing up, Gesicki, just for the stack. And who knows? Like, I mean, we saw Thursday and even to a degree Friday, these things can be unpredictable week to week. And I kind of like the idea of, scrolling way down for a tight end that's a stack. I think I might save this with a Gesicki unless somebody chooses to be a prick and really goes nuts. After this, I will go to those start sit questions, and actually while I'm waiting, I really need to promote this on the socials. Oop. So give me a second on that. Oh, you know what? I can play some background. Keep it low. Just something so that the silence isn't too deafening. Mhm. Still got time. Awesome. I don't know why I always put the fire emoji on these things. I like it. Notifications. All right. Sorry if this is a little bit boring or quiet, but stuff I needed to get done. I pressed the going live button a little earlier than I had planned because I thought I was getting in like literally the last Battle Royale draft. Instead, obviously, I clicked the wrong button, but here we are. Uh, get that on X. Yeah, I don't like posting on the old Twitter anymore. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Some people still stuck on there for no real reason. All right, so maybe I'll go over this draft a little bit just to like kind of confirm and deny where I would have gone with this. Although I'm not really heavy into promoting this particular um, game draft style. Oh, top of the morning. Where'd you go? Actually, can I show that? All right. Standard league, which running back should I start as flex between Travion Henderson or Tyrone Tracy? In a standard non PPR league, let me pull up my rankings real quick. Where'd they go? Yeah, my rankings are set for half PPR, which is kind of the in between. But really, they can be used for just about anything. All right. So in half PPR, I have Travion Henderson a little bit ahead of Tyrone Tracy. I do think I would lean Tracy in a standard league just be. I don't think either one of them is going to get the goal line touches. I think Henderson's main usage is going to be in the passing game. Tracy's going to be used. Probably Tracy's going to see 70-80% of the running back snaps. Singletary and Scatterboo should get some. If anything, I would worry about Tracy's goal line touches just because of his fumbles. I think in that case, though, I would lean Tracy. Slight lean to Tracy. Hope that helps. Thanks for asking. Hit me up if you got any more of those. And you can check out the rankings on wheelrouteff.com. Oop. Let's go to. I'm going to go to the Discord. I had a few questions in my Discord. All right, so this was last night. I had these guys set it up for me. I wonder if, yeah. So it was Jerome Ford or RJ Harvey. And I'll show my rankings while we do this. Jerome Ford, I have probably down at the running back 35, RJ Harvey at the running back 27. I want to move Harvey a little bit higher. Tennessee's defense is traditionally good, but they weren't great last year, and it's a new regime as of last year, so their defense doesn't seem to be as strong. Denver should be running the ball quite a bit later in the game. I think they would use their rookie as opposed to J.K. Dobbins to kind of run out the game. They want to see what they have in him. I think RJ Harvey is going to emerge as the main starter in that offense. And Jerome Ford, I really think, as you can probably may or may not be able to see, I have Dylan Sampson actually ranked a little bit above Jerome Ford. We know what Jerome Ford is. He's steady Eddie, solid running back, probably in line for the first and second down work. ECR has him at running back 34. The guys I usually pay attention to, Tyler O, Sean Corner, amongst a few others, have him, I think, even or below ECR. Where'd they go? Nathan Yankee is another one. Has Ford at RB 35. Raybon has him 34. Tyler O has him running back 33. Everybody has RJ Harvey substantially ahead of Jerome Ford. That is the direction I would go in for that. Next one was Ridley or Purcell. So this was a really tough one. Although, again, because it's within position, should be fairly easy to determine with the rankings. I have moved Ridley down from last night, just a few spots. Going against Denver, in Denver, it's going to be a difficult matchup. He will probably see Patrick Surtain for most of the day. But, I mean, Ridley is mainly a slot receiver. They'll move him all around the formation, though, in quest to get him off of Surtain. But, like, I mean, Denver still has great backs. The main thing is I don't see a touchdown in Ridley's future. I don't really see a touchdown in Tennessee's future. They might get one, but they're going to be relatively low scoring. Seattle's defense, Purcell is going up against Seattle's defense. And I just this morning moved Jennings ahead of Purcell by one spot. The first targets are going to be Jennings might be a first target in that offense. But here's the thing. There's going to be Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Jennings, and Purcell. Which of them is the primary target? There probably isn't going to be any, but it's going to be spread between the four of them. I just don't see Purcell having more than, say, 6 targets, and I don't think Ridley has less than 8. Even though, and Seattle's defense, as Evan Silva said, might end up being one of the better ones Oh, I didn't flip the screen. Might be end up being one of the better ones, better defenses this year as well. So I said Ridley. Both matchups are tough, but Ridley should get at least 8 targets. PJ asked me Tatora McMillan or RJ Harvey. I said to him, McMillan. As you can see, or may not be able to see, you can see if you go on the website. But I have moved Tatora McMillan up to my wide receiver 14. I think he's going to have a sensational day. And I think he's going to be sensational going forward. So their coach, Dave Canales, really likes to center his offense around his primary receiver. He does not care about spreading the ball around. Even when he was with Tampa Bay, Godwin had to speak up towards the middle to end of the season. And middle to end of the season. Godwin had to speak up. Actually, I think it was his girlfriend or his fiance or his wife or something spoke up and chirped up and said, "You got to get Godwin the ball." Like, he's a tremendous receiver, because they were using Evans so much. So Tatora McMillan is likely to see, I mean, I think I said 8 targets, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get double-digit targets. So the next question was Swift, DJ Moore, or Tet for a half PPR. And there goes Lieutenant Dan. Merry Christmas, Wheeler. Thanks, Lieutenant Dan. Hopefully you're watching. If not, Lieutenant Dam. Actually, I forget his real name, but he's one to. He's actually like I might end up getting him to write some articles for me. I know he said something last year. But he said something about doing that last year, but I didn't hit him up for it. The guys in the Discord, the guys in the chat, really good guys, inquisitive, knowledgeable, and they can actually help you answer questions too. And anybody watching, listening, get in that Discord. It's free for now. It's going to be paid by the end of the season, or it's going to be part of a membership by the end of the season. So get in there while you can. If you're in there before I switch it, you're grandfathered in. But the Swift DJ Moore Tet question for half PPR, I said to him, it's Tet or Tatora or DJ Moore. I have Tatora much higher, but benching DJ Moore is not something I feel very comfortable with. We'll see though. Those are the questions I got from there. Please, if you have any, hit up the chat. Hit me wherever you like. Well, hit up the chat, hit up the Discord, and ask me those questions. Otherwise, you can check out the rankings on wheelrouteff.com. I need a better header there. Oh, I need to share that tab instead. All right, so just want to look some things over. I know what I want to do. To get, sorry about that, ironing some things out here. Hit the chat, let me know what you need. I gotta get the link to this again so I can share it on the old Twitter. That should be good to go. Go there. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Absolutely ridiculous that sorry about this. I'll be more prepared next week. Hopefully my technology works better next week. What the hell is going on here? Was my Gmail freaking hacked? Is that why it's not working? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Come on, that's the worst. That's the worst. All right, can't share that with you right now. That's a wrench in my plans. I do know what I can do. Gotta get there. I'll look at some other start sits. I should have done too. A lot of people at my fantasy league, when they want their start sit questions answered. So I don't really want to show that screen, but I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Somebody has Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison, Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbuka. Do I stack? If so, which combo? All right, so Kyler, Marvin, Baker, Egbuka. Well, can't they start both wide receivers? And I would just go with Baker at quarterback if that's the case. If they can only start one receiver, I actually may not do the stack. That's one of those tough ones. I wouldn't do Kyler Egbuka. I might do Baker, Marvin Harrison Jr. Did they say it was PPR? If it's PPR, I think I would go Baker Egbuka. If it's half or non-PPR, I think I would go Baker MHJ. Stacking is fun. Stacking is good in tournament play. Stacking is fantastic in best ball. I think it's relatively unnecessary, but fun in most other formats. Superflex. You know what? I'm gonna go through my teams, see if I have any start sit decisions, and I probably don't. Only 2 leagues left on my fantasy league.com because they charge too much and haven't updated their site really at all. So this lineup for me is I had Jalen Hurts going Thursday. I think he got me 22 or so. I got Drake May going, Bucky Irvin, Jonathan Taylor. I Pollard is another running back that I could go to, but playing at Denver. Basically, the lineup decision here is between, well, I guess it's between Ridley and Pollard. I was going to say Terry McLaurin and Pollard, but Ridley, as I discussed earlier, may not be the move. I'm going to leave that open. I might switch that from Ridley to Pollard. The other MFL league is a best ball, so I don't have to worry about start sits there. Let me go to Sleeper, where I might have some start sits. If you're watching it all and you got questions, please drop it in the chat. Drop it in my Discord. Oh, I got a bunch here. Cool. Let me switch to the Discord. This is more fun. So, I don't even know who dropped this in there. We have Etienne, Dobbins, or Trace is probably Lieutenant Dan. He's always good for multiple questions. Lieutenant, if you're watching on YouTube, please just let me know so I don't answer both places. Makes it a little bit easier for me. Then again, he might have just dropped them in here so I have content. Always appreciate you. Let's go. Etienne, Dobbins, or Tyrone Tracy. I probably have Tracy ranked higher. Just going to double check. Yeah, Tracy is my 22nd running back overall, but I really want to move Etienne up. Carolina doesn't pose a tremendous run defense. But here's the thing. We still have Tank Bigsby and Bashal Tutin to worry about when it comes to touches. I do think Etienne's going to get like 60% of the touches. I think they're going to showcase him. I'm going to move him up one spot ahead of Jaylen Warren. I should probably move DeAndre Swift down too, but I did a review of these rankings before, so I don't want to shift them around too much. Tyrone Tracy is who I'm going to tell you to start there. Although I do like Etienne. Let me copy that. Just want to make sure I kind of answer for him. I wish he didn't do it all in one. But let's see. All right, good. So we got Tracy. Please let me shoot. Let's do that again. Tet, Igbuka, or Puka. It's got to be Puka. Puka, Puka is my fourth or fifth ranked wide receiver, and I was looking at the possibility of dropping Justin Jefferson a few spots, but it's really tough to Justin Jefferson, I think, is probably the most talented wide receiver in the NFL. Jamar Chase benefits from Burrow, which puts him over the top in fantasy. But I just Stafford and Puka could really light it up today. And maybe I should move him ahead of Brian Thomas, but I was listening to Rich Rebar and Patrick Crane, was it yesterday? And they both said they have Brian Thomas as their wide receiver 2 this week, right behind Chase, Jamar Chase. And I want to see if I can get a quote on that. Basically, the bottom line is that, I'm answering this question. The question is, the answer to that question is Puka, without a doubt. He could end up being a wide receiver 1 this week. Wouldn't be surprised if he's in the range of certainly double-digit targets. I wouldn't be shocked if he reached 15 targets. If Puka reached 15 targets today, he could be the wide receiver 1. I might end up bumping him ahead of Brian Thomas, but after reviewing the rankings early, especially in week 1, week 1 is chaos, right? Like everything is really unpredictable. So I don't like to deviate too far from, I don't want to say consensus, but the consensus of the guys I think are the true experts in this field. So yes, I come up with my rankings based on certain projections and other news that comes in, certain matchups, everything I read. And then I'll compare my rankings to a couple of others like Tyler Rowe, Sean Corner, Nathan Yonke, just a couple of guys that I think although Waz, I don't know if he pays. So there's always rankings kind of. Waz was really focused on doing the Fantasy Pros rankings for quite a while and came in second in this competition a lot. I think he came in first 1 year. Excellent at ranking, but I think he's more focused on just projections and then start sits for your fantasy teams. He's working at Fantasy Life, I believe. But he's one I like to reference, although lately I've kind of, I'm showing you the wrong screen here. Lately I've kind of backed off I'll go to him once in a while, but let's go to this tab instead. So Puka's definitely the one for his second question. Etienne or Tyrone Tracy? Yeah, I answered that one. That was Tracy. Oops, that's period. I will come back to this. Charbonnet, Ollie Gordon, or Dylan Sampson? I am going to go with Sampson on that, I believe. I do have Charbonnet ahead. That's a gut call. I'm going to tell him Sampson. I have Sampson and Sharbs back to back. I'd probably go with Sampson. And then Ingram or Loveland. Let me hit my tight end rankings. I know I moved Ingram down a few spots. Where's Loveland? I have Loveland way too low. His projections must be low. He probably does project rather low. I'm going to move him up a few spots, though. Tight ends are kind of wild cards in their own sense. just want to kind of scan and see where others have him ranked. So ECR is tight end 18. His highest rank is actually tight end 11. And I could see him ending there fairly easily. All it takes is a touchdown. But yeah, the consensus is right around tight end 18 for Colston Loveland. So I'm definitely going to move him up there. Although, yeah, it's kind of hard. Brenton Strange and Kyle Pitts probably will pay out. I'll show you my ranking screen here. I'm going to tell him Evan Ingram, because that's for sure. And then Ingram or Kraft is Ingram by 1 spot. Yeah, I just think Ingram is going to get a lot more targets. He stands a pretty good chance of scoring a touchdown this week against Tennessee. But we shall see what happens there. All right, so Colston Loveland, I definitely want to have him above Juwan Johnson against Arizona actually should pay off. Brenton Strange could have a day. Pitts could have a day. Otten could see increased targets. It really becomes a crapshoot. Atticus, what's up? What's the game I'm most excited for week 1? Pats Raiders. Honestly, geez, I'm not going to be sitting down watching football at 1:00 today, or when the games come on. I'm gonna watch them all. I'm gonna watch Red Zone on replay over the next couple days. I have a female friend that has been away for the past week and wants to see me, so I'm going to spend time with her this afternoon. Yeah, my priorities have shifted, but I'm a Red Zone guy. But the game, I think there's quite a few interesting games. Let me pull up the schedule just to take a look. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so the Dolphins and the Colts, I think, will be a lot more interesting than people think. That could end up being quite a shootout. I want to see, like, the Dolphins secondary is non-existent. So, oh yeah, women over football. There's a reason why I'm not married. So the Dolphins Colts, I think that could be an interesting shootout. The Dolphins secondary sucks, and they are going to want to establish it on offense. Daniel Jones also sucks, but when given an opportunity to kind of go wild, Daniel Jones sucks because he throws interceptions and he fumbles. If you take away the interceptions, it could end up being a shootout. I want to see the result of that game. Jets Steelers, I think, is going to be relatively boring. Panthers Jaguars, I'm excited to kind of see. That could be a shootout. The Cardinals Saints is going to be surprising. Yeah, the Saints suck on paper. The thing about their first 2 games last year when they were fully healthy, new coach, new kind of mentality going into the season. I think they're one of the worst teams in the NFL, but They could bite the Cardinals. There, it is Saints at home, correct? Maybe I can click on that. Yeah, it is. It is in the dome. So I want to see the result of that. I think the Commanders should trounce the Giants, but that's a divisional game. The Giants always play the Commanders really tough. I used to go to that game every year. One of my closest friends had season tickets. He doesn't anymore. I grew up a Giants fan, but have recently totally denounced my fandom on the Giants because the Koch family bought into the not that the Mara family was they were pretty good owners as far as football wise, but as far as good people, not so sure. But the Koch family is not good for society. So no more Giants fan here. Hope the Commanders spank them around, although the Giants defense should be pretty good. Bucks Falcons should be a shootout. That should be a fun game to watch. Bengals Browns, of course. Patriots Raiders. I'm really interested to see what the Raiders offense, both of those offenses, I'm really interested to see. But the Raiders pass rush will likely keep the Patriots in check. Interesting game, though. You're right. Interesting game. You know what, Atticus, though? Like, Daniel Jones isn't going to start more than 8 games. Richardson is going to be playing at least some games before the season's over. I'm really hoping it's Anthony Richardson in the second half of the season straight through. I've got quite a bit of them in very late rounds of best ball. Niners Seahawks should be a defensive battle, I would think, especially being played in Seattle. But that'll be fun. That's gonna be one of those fun games to watch. The 4:00 slate looks pretty decent today with 4 games. Broncos Titans. Broncos should crush them, but I'd like to see what Cam Ward can do on offense. There's a lot of really good matchups today. Packers Lions. Let's see where they stand after today. Jordan Love was hurt most of last year. Didn't really get it going on offense. The Lions' new offensive coordinator, still from the same system, but it's gonna look a little bit different, I would imagine, and that's in Green Bay. So yeah, a more even game than we probably would expect. Texans Rams. I'm only interested in the Texans Rams to see Puka and Nico. They both could have tremendous games. Nico, I don't know who's going to benefit with more targets from the slot demon being out. And I can't even think of his name right now. I'll come back to that. Tonight's game should one of the better Sunday night matchups I've ever seen. Ravens at Bills. The Bills being the home team will likely squeak that out, but Lamar's going to be playing angry this year. Don't be surprised if the Ravens surprise the Bills. The Monday night game, Vikings Bears. I'll probably be asleep at halftime of that, but it'll be interesting to see how the Bears look with their new new coach, new getup. I should have showed you that screen as I was going through it, but I think the game to watch today will likely be that Buccaneers Atlanta game. Gravy on our cheese. I'm getting asked the same questions over and over, and this happens a lot on game day. So Lieutenant Dan, Trayvon or Tracy. He says he benched Javonte Williams all around Thursday night, but he ain't quitting for nothing. So I answered this before, but it was non-PPR when I answered it for Ryan up there. Travion Henderson or Tracy. This is going to depend on PPR. Actually, let me hit the reply. This works a lot better on my tablet or phone, but I just want to know if it's half or full PPR. Full PPR, I probably go Henderson. Half or non, I probably go Tracy there. Oh, we're coming up on game time, aren't we? Well, not quite. Hour and 15. We're a lot further along than I thought I was. I'll hit that up in a second. Let's take a look at, I just want to make sure my team's lineups are set. This one, this is a league where I am tanking. I need to get some trades out there though. So in this one, I've got Lamar, Ginty, Jonathan Taylor, DK Metcalf, Jonathan Williams, Egbuka. To start 2 tight end leagues, so it's stacked. Other than my 2 tight ends, I put the tight ends off. I was gonna focus on tight end in the rookie draft, but like Egbuka fell to me, and I think there was another rookie that I took above a tight end, but I ended up with Harold Fannin, which should pan out later, and Ferguson. Is that Terrence Ferguson, the rookie on the Rams? But I'm gonna go with Freiermuth and Higbee to start. I did pick up is it Jonah Hill? Is Waller being out? But I want to see what he does first. I have Breece Hall on the flex, which is I think he's going to surprise some people. I don't have him ranked high this week against Pittsburgh, but I think the Jets are going to try to showcase Breece Hall to get some trade value and trade him away, because they seem to think they have 2 other running backs that can carry the load just fine. And I can't disagree with them, but I think Breece Hall can be a superstar in this league, and I'm hoping he breaks one early so that I can get paid out there. Then Jacoby Myers should be steady against New England. Josh Downs should get peppered with targets. Yeah, I agree with you there, Atticus. Breece Hall is the most talented probably on the roster, on the offense anyway. Josh Downs should get peppered with targets today with Daniel Jones at QB. But I actually think Pittman's going to have a much better day. Daniel Jones and Pittman have this. I was showing you the wrong thing. Darn it. Here, let me get back to this. This is what I'm looking at here. It's one of my leagues. Just want to check and see my starting lineup. Make sure make sure I don't have any late inactives. And I want to go over inactives with you as well. See if any of them are popping up. So I usually check Blue Sky for the latest inactives. and I'll go over that in a second. Let me just go through my lineups again first. So I'm looking at the Josh Downs. I do think Pittman's going to benefit from Daniel Jones more than Josh Downs will, or more than any of the receivers will. They seem to develop a connection early on in the season. But my bench is pretty weak in this league, so not much going to happen here. Bateman is a possibility. I think Bateman's going to have a decent year. I don't want to start him at Buffalo, though. Jalen Noel could benefit from Christian Kirk going down. That's the name I couldn't think of about 10 minutes ago. De'Ami Brown. Nah. I got Fannin here again and Terrence Ferguson. Oh, yeah, that's right. I already said that here. I'm going to stick with this for now. I just think Freiermuth and Higbee probably have a better chance of scoring a touchdown than any of the rookies or Jonah Hill. As I said, it is a tight end premium start to tight end league, but I decided to go in a different direction and really stack up on my other positions in that draft. And it's a dynasty league, so I went with some rookie tight ends that I hope will become something. All right, so apparently I have somebody in the IR in this league that it's always good to check. And I don't like sleeper just because it's really like, all right, so Jordan James is doubtful and not out yet, but I can put Ayuk on IR. Yeah, I'll just throw Ayuk on IR. Their injury out designation here, like sleeper, if there's anything you could do, these out doubtful indicators, make them bigger, man. Like, I don't understand why they're so small and hard to see. Like, and then you make them red. I get why you make them red, but like the red doesn't pop out on any of the screens I have. So if there's any recommendation, I would say make it huge. Like, have a different column where you just, or make the whole thing red. He's out. Like, I've been stuck with players that were out in my lineup just because it's not easy to see on here. And then one other lineup setting league that I care about. Oh wait, did I go over that one? I didn't really go over that one. Let me see. So I had Prescott going on Thursday. I got Justin Fields starting over, I think I got Anthony Richardson. And oh no, over Goff. I'd switch that up. Goff against Green Bay or Fields. I do have Fields ahead of Goff, but I'm probably lower on Goff than most. Yeah, no, pretty much everybody. I'm a little bit lower on Goff than some others. I'm going to bump him up so I'm not too low on him. Wow, I have Daniel Jones at him. Let me see. Yeah, let me switch this. So, moving Daniel Jones. Whoa. Down. I just wanted to check. I don't like to be too far off from consensus. I'm glad I caught that Daniel Jones thing, though. That I did not want. I don't know how. He must have projected well earlier in the week, but I certainly don't want to have him ahead of Goff or JJ McCarthy or even CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. So I moved Goff up a some. So now Goff and Fields are closer. Goff is probably the smarter pick to start there. Where are you? I might come back to that. I'm probably gonna, I'll leave that open. And I got Bucky and RJ Harvey going. Jerry Jeudy should have a good day today. Devontae Smith did not have a good day. Got Brock Bowers going. Aaron Jones, Roma Dunze, Jacoby Myers, and DJ Moore. Having DJ Moore and Dunze both starting. I don't like to do that, but I have Ayuk and Godwin out. Oh, I could start Jennings. Jennings is going against Seattle. I'm going to go with both the Chicago receivers, cross my fingers, but I want to come back to that one when I sign off. I might switch Goff and Fields. The other lineup setting league, I have Jalen Hurts going the other night. I got Bucky and James Cook, Jacoby Myers. I had Pickens going. I have Ridley going. I have McBride and Jatavian Sanders in this one. Again, another 2 tight end premium league. I'm just reading your comments, Atticus. I have Pollard. Ooh, this team looks a lot better on paper before the matchups of the week. That is Trevor Etienne, not Travis Etienne. Which is really confusing this week because they're playing each other. Geno Smith or Justin Fields. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm high on Fields this year, but this week against Pittsburgh, I'm second guessing that. But the other positions, I don't really have anything I can throw in there. Tajay Spears is out. But I'd go with Pollard anyway, most likely. Looks like that's set. At least there's nobody out. Where do I want to go from here? Anybody have any questions in the chat? Hit me up. Let me know. Please give me a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let me know what's up, what's going on. It was something else I had planned on doing here. Going over a few more inactives. That's what I wanted to look at. Let's take a look here. Let me refresh it just in case. Got inactives latest. Just list 5 inactives. Can you tell me? Allen Lazard inactive. Interesting. You guys can't say that. All right. Lazard is inactive. Not big news, but just something to keep in the back of my head for the rankings, really. And I wonder if that is updated here. All right. Ooh, Darnell Mooney is out. I thought he was going to play this week. I did have him ranked pretty low, so the projections were low on him anyway. AC Washington will play in Mooney's place. All right, so this is the time I go through my rankings. So with Darnell Mooney out, I actually want to move up I did have Ray higher to begin with. Okay. So this is why I like to use projections, they anticipate these things. Where the heck do you go? It is really difficult to find. All right. So I'll even show you. So when I want to just like, so I will take Mooney out, but before I do that, yeah, Ray-Ray McCloud, I had a wide receiver 59. I'm not going to move him above Demario Douglas or Thielen or Higgins or Bateman. So I'm just going to leave Ray there. I'll take Mooney out. And who did they say was, well, so they have, where is it? They're saying Casey Washington will play in Mooney's place, but that's a reporter not knowing what they're talking about, right? Like, so Ray-Ray McCloud and KhaDarel Hodge are likely to pick up those targets. Where is Hodge? Ugh, come on. Allen Lazard is out. Hold on. Tampa Bay. KhaDarel Hodge. Yeah, I'm not going to move him. I'll move him ahead of Naylor. Move him up one spot. But there are a lot of good receivers down in this kind of 80 range. So, you know, Hunter Renfrow, Noah Brown, Roman Wilson, I'm going to move down a little bit because I prefer Torrey Horton, Malik Washington, Josh Reynolds, Alec Ayamaner, Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, Adonai Mitchell, Jalen Noel, given all the circumstances. Now watch, Roman Wilson will score a touchdown. All right, so Allen Lazard, they're playing Pittsburgh. I'm not going to move anyone else up due to that. Who else we have? Jimmy Horn is out. No big deal. Guys, Efren Chisholm is out. Yeah, the hype on him was Jermaine Burton. Darn it. Wanted to see him do something this year. Hype beast. Let us down. There was a name, Hunter Renfrow. After Derek Carr pumped him up the other night, I wouldn't be surprised if he is heavily targeted. So I'm going to scoot. And it doesn't matter at this range, but I'm just going to scoot him up for my ranking's sake. It really isn't going to make that much of a difference. They only look at, when they rank who's the most accurate, I think they only look at 50 or 60 wide receivers that you have ranked, but like to go through that. Let's see, I think somebody else. Lieutenant DAM is asking, do you drop Ford, Sampson, or Jay McCarthy to add defense? You can probably drop your quarterback. I would probably. Are you guys looking at yeah, I'm going to tell him to drop QB. Can easily get one off waivers. And I like to do that. A direct reply. It's so much easier on my tablet. I never gave him the Travion or Tracy unless he's watching. Lieutenant Let me know if you're watching so I don't have to reply in the Discord. All right, let's take a look at, actually, I'm going to take a look. My rankings will usually, the Fantasy Pros rankings tool will usually let me know who's out. Jameis Winston out. See, I'm surprised that both Jameson and Shedeur are out. Why wouldn't they be the third emergency quarterback? That doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't affect starters at all, though. Let me look at running back. Chris Rodriguez is out for Washington. That was capping JCM's upside. Although Eckler, I still think Eckler is the go-to guy there. I'm gonna slide JCM. I'm gonna move Nick Chubb down. I just don't believe in Chubb at all. Although somebody's gonna get touches there. Chubb probably they might try to feed Chubb a touchdown. I'll leave him where he is. Where does everybody else have him ranked? 33 is the consensus. Corners ahead of consensus. Let me take a look here again. I should actually move him up. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to leave Chubb right there then. JCM, I feel as though I should move ahead of maybe Rachaad White. Ugh. It's really difficult. Ramondre Stevenson's probably going to get the goal line work. Chubb's going to get work. Jordan Mason's going to split touches. There's a lot of guys splitting here. I think Charbonnet's role has increased. I'll move JCM up one spot ahead of Rachaad White. I can't really move him, but I am really surprised Chris Rodriguez is out. Austin Eckler, I'm going to move definitely ahead of J.K. Dobbins. Kind of want to move Eckler ahead of Warren, but lots of people have Warren higher than I do, so I don't want to adjust it too much. Raheem Mostert out for Vegas. Who's Vegas's backup then? Oh, it's where is it? Zamir White. I'll move Zamir White where I had, or close to where I had Raheem Mostert. I'll move him ahead of Miller. When I take Mostert out, that moves him up a little bit in the top 60. Nothing drastic. And then I forgot to take Elijah Mitchell out. So you guys get to see a little behind the scenes of what it's like to do these rankings. Just like any player that's out, I like to get them fully out. And as you can see, it helps me decide whether I want to move some people up or not. Take a look at tight end, just go over, and then I usually go through the socials to find out inactives. I should probably just look at the 32 beat writers, and I know there's an inactives page I had. I'm gonna look. I'm just gonna click publish on there to update that. Oh, you know what? Let me look at my kicker rankings because I never really do. Tyler Bass is out. Oh, Matt Prater is kicking for Buffalo. I did hear that the other day. Jason Sanders isn't kicking. Is he hurt? Who's kicking for Miami? Let me move. I'm going to move Matt Prater right where Tyler Bass was, because that's more of an offensive thing. Buffalo's got a good offense. They're playing a tough team. They'll probably settle for some field goals, or if they're up or, coming back late, they'll need a field goal. Prater's pretty good. Riley, I don't know who's kicking from I'll leave Jason Sanders as a 33rd ranked, and there's no injuries on defense. So let me publish that again just to clear up the kicker rankings. All right, a little behind the scenes there. Coming up on the end of this, if you have any questions, please, more questions. Okay. Which defense? Jacksonville, Chicago are here. Getting more questions in the Discord. Sooner or later, I'll figure out how to get the Discord questions so that you can see them on the screen, other than me showing my Discord channel. But jump in there and listen for your answers on here, or just ask them on here, however you like. But let's take a look. Jacksonville, Chicago, Green Bay. Oh, is Micah Parsons playing today? So let me check out these inactives real quick. Again, we got Mooney out. Patriots inactives. Chris Rodriguez, there you go, that news. I hate PFT, I'm not going to go on there. No, let me check one thing. I know I have a website saved for inactives. Somewhere. I did. I'm out of practice here too. I know there was a website I had specifically for inactives. But they really use, so actually Nathan Yankee, thank you. All right, so the fantasy relevant inactives, not there. Let me see. Anybody know if Micah Parsons is playing today? If Micah Parsons is playing, go with that Denver defense. Micha. I'm sure I'm spelling it wrong. Is that today? Come on, man. If Micah Parsons is active, I want to go with that Green Bay defense. Let's do this. I got to go on the other website. It looks like Micah Parsons is playing today. Anybody else? If there's anybody else that can confirm that, let me know. I'm just going to say if Parsons is playing, I want Green Bay. Shoot. Otherwise, Jacksonville, Chicago. Just taking a look at my rankings here. What were the other choices? Hard to bounce back and forth. Jacksonville, Chicago, Indy, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Vegas. It looks like Chicago from that, right? Yeah, you know what though? I think Parsons is playing, so I'm gonna bump. Ooh. Why do I have Miami's defense that high? All right, I'll let that go. Yeah, Parsons. Yeah. Okay. Well, however you feel better. I definitely. Oh, sorry. So Lieutenant Dan was actively responding. Um, he's going to go with Chicago because he's scared of Detroit. I just think Micah Parsons against any pocket passer, sign me up. I'm good with that. All right. What do we I'll go another 10 minutes if I can stretch this out. But I plan on in the future going right up until game time, as long as I have all of my stuff settled. Oops. This here, just promote the website a little bit. I need to clean up this website a little bit too. But what else do we have here? All my lineups are set. I just need to decide on Justin Fields. Do I want to do that? Actually, where is Steelers, Jets, Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is gonna suck today. He always sucks week one. Just want to read up and see if it's so hard to tell week one. I'm gonna stick with Fields, but it's gonna be a tough choice. It's gonna be a tough choice there. I wanted to show you some of my battle royales, but that email never came through. I think somebody might have hacked me. Which would suck. Yeah. What else do I have? What else do I have? We went over the inactives. Actually, let me double check to see if so I know I am following 32 beat writers on one of the socials, and it's not. Oh, there it goes. All right. Actually, hold on. Yeah, Chris Rodriguez, JCM owners are kind of going a little crazy. I'm wondering if I should shift him up the rankings a bit more. Man, I saw a Dan Williamson post, but I only caught a glimpse of it. Dan Williamson is a old head fantasy buddy. I always like to get his opinion on things. Where'd he go, though? Yeah, I need to search this real quick. Sorry. Come on, Twitter is just freaking awful. Okay, it is just a funny thing he posted. I guess when they said Xavier, Dan Williamson says, when they said Xavier Worthy was taking the Rashee Rice role, he had no idea it meant the role early season of human sacrifice. Stay classy, Dan. That's funny. Steelers young O-line, No, beat writers aren't telling me anything. Really, week one, we're working on the least amount of information possible. They've, teams now hide everything they're doing in preseason. Don't give us much. And we don't have any real information going into the season. So I think that's all I got for you today. If you don't have any other questions, I can't pull up some of the things I had hoped to be showing you. Chris Godwin's ruled out. Christian McCaffrey will play. He's good to go. Worthy as a dislocated shoulder. There's really no other news that I see coming across. Ooh, Cardinals are adding Kyler Murray to the injury report this morning due to an illness, but he will start. I would imagine that means he runs less. Maybe. Might be a tick slower. So Jaguars are planning to use Travis Hunter as an every down wide receiver and situational corner. Brown signed Judkins. There's no other real news that I see really anywhere. No other questions. I'm going to sign off and just keep tabs on what's going on. And what I will try to do this week, and I should be able to do this, I plan on Tuesday waiver wire show. Maybe a first look at some DFS. Oh, that's what I could do too. So, I kind of Owner's Box is a DFS platform that I've worked with in the past. I thought they would be defunct by now, honestly. I think they're doing a deposit match bonus. I'm going to get in touch with them and see if I have a promo code you can use, but I think they're doing a deposit match. If tell you what, if you decide to, so they have a ton of overlay, especially on their Sunday kickoff, their main. Actually, maybe I'll make it. I should have these owners bucks that are redeemable, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not thrilled about the setup, but they have some tournaments that I might just jump in here. You know what? I'm not going to do it in front of you, but let's just take a look and build a lineup that we can do in the last few seconds here. Their pricing might be a little bit different than others, and they are a super flex format, so you're going to want 2 QBs most likely. I was taking a look at this before, and it's really hard to jam in the guys that you want. We're dealing with a $50,000 salary, so the average is about $5,500. Let me scroll up here. I'm going to start at tight end. Tyler Warren looks cheap, but I might end up spending up with Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, or George Kittle. They don't look super expensive, but it's kind of hard to judge. Unless you compare them against the receivers. And their pricing is pretty tight. They must have come out with this late. Let me get off of here. Let me see if there's some wide receivers that we can scoop at a value. I'm going to go below the 5,500 mark to see if I can save some. Jerry Jeudy at 5,400 should be a good play today. Just going to queue him up. Stephon Diggs, Torrey McMillan. That's definitely where I want to spend my money. Could go Travis Hunter. Ricky Purcell and Jawan Jennings look cheap. I'm going to go with Pittman. Just as I said earlier, I think he's going to have a good day. So it looks like you only need to start 2 wide receivers. So getting value at running back might even be a better idea. Let's take a look. Kamara, they don't really have much value per se. Travis Etienne, Pollard, there's RJ Harvey. He's slightly below what the average player cost is. Taylor Warren, Austin Eckler could be quite a value there. I like Woody Marks' value, 4,800. Dylan Sampson. I think Dylan Sampson's the lead back in Cleveland, or should take on a primary role, but I don't think he's going to have slate breaking upside by any means. Bashal Tutin could be a value pick there. I think I am going to go. So Christian McCaffrey is the 4th highest priced running back, and down a little bit is Alvin Kamara I think Kamara is going to have a tremendous day today. See what that leaves us. Ugh, not much. I still got quarterback. I might have to get rid of, maybe I'll get rid of Kamara. And let's go, we said RJ Harvey, but Austin Eckler looks like a value. Let's go with Eckler there. So what does that leave us? Average remaining is 5,600. Let's take a look at quarterback. Oh, come on. I don't like this screen so much. There we go. All right, so Jaden Daniels, too expensive. Burrow, too expensive. Mayfield at 67, just a little too much. Bo Nix at 63 could be a value. Let me get the tight ends out of there. Justin Fields going against anybody but Pittsburgh. Drake May could be a possibility. Trevor Lawrence is way down here. Let me hit up Trevor Lawrence. And as I said, it's super flex, so could go like a Daniel Jones. But now we're dumpster diving there. $5,700. I'll come back to quarterback there. We need to get a wide receiver. I want to get a wide receiver to pair with Lawrence. Wide receiver to pair with Lawrence. Let's go with Travis Hunter. And now I have 6,100 per player remaining. I can spend some of that at tight end. Let me go with Kittle and see what that leaves me at quarterback. So it does leave me Bo Nix, but instead of this, Judy, this Cortland Sutton would have been nice. Marvin Mims. Just want to see if does that leave me enough to go with Brian Thomas Jr. now? 700 shy of Brian Thomas Jr. $900 remaining, and I don't like $900 remaining. I'd like to replace Travis Hunter with something. Let me look at running back. Maybe instead of McCaffrey. I'm gonna go with that Kamara. Does that give me? Gives me 700. Let me go with Kamara. I come off of that still doesn't give me enough to get Brian Thomas Jr., does it? Oh yeah, it does. So I got Trevor Lawrence with Brian Thomas Jr., Bo Nix with Marvin Mims, Eckler, Kamara. Tickets available. Oh well. I'll place that entry later. All right, I'm signing off. Hopefully, we'll get a few more of you in here next week. Like, subscribe. Enjoy week 1. I'll be back Tuesday. Tuesday for waiver wire. Thursday for any start sits, questions, matchups. Thursday we'll definitely maybe hit some battle royales and some other contests. Until then, have a great day. Enjoy week 1. Peace. Oh, shoot.